Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to see you, Chelsea.
Nice to see you too, Sandy.
Isn't this wonderful Tuesday AM together?
It's fabulous. And it's
fabulous.
beautiful outside. A little bit of rain last night made everything so green.
And fresh. And now the sun's shining. What more could we ask for on a beautiful Tuesday?
Nothing.
That's right. Oh, and you'll notice that we're up in the big studio today because right now Anne is teaching one of our new owners classes in the regular classroom. And so if you have purchased a machine from us in the last little while and haven't had your new owners classes, Chelsea's got them all organized. And does Tyler put them on the calendar for us?
Sure does.
All right. So they've got us both organized wonderfully. So if you need to do your new owners class for either Brother or Bernina, sewing or embroidery, or if you bought a serger, your serger class, they are on the calendar on our website. Just give us a call. We'll book you in. All right.
Will.
So that's why we're here today in the big studio. Yay.
It's pretty fun. I like it up here.
It's kind of fun, isn't it? Yeah. And only that, you're here. Tyler's just around the corner. In case things slide sideways, we're good. All right. So this week and for the next couple of weeks, we're working on a fun project, aren't we, Chelsea?
I'm so excited.
Me too. It is called Sweet Jane's Designs, and we are doing the
Mini Charm Trio.
And it is a series of a lot of different pillows that you can select from. And we have started one because it's going to take a little while to get it all done.
Yeah, so we already did a bit of piecing to save us some time.
Yep. So Chelsea kindly actually cut our blocks to the prescribed sizes.
It was a team effort. Dawn cut for us.
Oh, Dawn did. Oh my gosh, we really have the team going today.
She picked the fabrics, and we're playing with all Kimberbell fabrics today.
Oh, that's fun.
I love it.
Okay, so
it's
this
so
should all go together beautifully then. All right.
Yeah,
so
the pieces I've done already have gone together really beautifully.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so that is wonderful. And so we just thought, we've been making some half square triangles. We made some flying geese.
Yep.
Let's put them together in a project and show you how sweet they can be. Right?
I can't wait.
Right.
I love it.
Okay. All right. Where do we start, Chelsea?
All right. So we are going to start not with my white on the white table. I'll put it over here. So in your cutting instructions, you will have to cut 4 of these large background rectangles.
Perfect. So 4. Okay.
And then you're going to have 8 larger squares.
Okay.
The rest of them are small. So.
Okay. So contrasting colors, not white with white, because then we can't tell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. That
so we have this lovely pink with this white. So first, we are going to draw a line for Sandy.
Yep.
Because we are going to make flying geese. So we're going to draw a line from corner to corner.
Perfect.
And I'm just using a wash away pen, but you could use a friction pen. That's my favorite way to draw a line.
Yeah. And you're using one of the pens that I like.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's
the blue.
wash away. You can't see it super well, but I promise you it's there.
So we've marked the diagonal. Perfect.
And then when I place this,
right sides together?
Right sides together. So my white on white is right sides up.
Okay.
And I am placing this. So my angle is going from here to here.
Okay.
So point here and point here. So when Sandy sews this, she's going to sew down this line and just a little bit towards this side.
Okay.
I find this the easiest.
Okay.
So I'm going to flip it around because when I sew this, I find it easier to start over here versus a tip.
Okay, sounds marvelous. I've got a little leader ender in my machine ready to go.
Fantastic.
So
I'm going to send
and
this little project.
I just want to make sure I'm doing it right on the line, not on either side of the line, right?
Yep.
Okay, and just
so you'll kind of go. If you were going to pick either side of the line, I'd go a little bit to the right towards that corner.
Okay, let me just readjust that just a slight little tad. Okay, there we go then. I'm ready to stitch. Okay, Chelsea, sorry if that got a little bit out of line there. I got a little fast.
We'll make it work.
Decided it was going to take off on me. So, all right.
I'm sure it's fabulous.
I didn't bring any scissors.
I did.
Oh, you're a doll. That Chelsea always comes prepared. Thank you. just going to snip off my leader. I'm going to make a leader and an ender, so I won't have that problem next time.
That's a great idea, Sandy.
All right, and we'll just put that back down and just sew off. Good, and trim that. Okay, so Chelsea, I'm sorry, it may not have been as good as you might have hoped for. There
I
you
think
go.
it's probably going to be perfect. Let's switch to our
She's
top
so
camera.
positive.
So Sandy sewed from here to here. Doop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set our seam because we're
Perfect.
stitching on bias.
Right.
And, you know,
We don't want
setting our
it
seam is
stretching.
good.
All right.
I'm going to gently open this.
Okay.
And when I open it, Sandy, you
Yeah.
did such a perfect job.
Oh, thank heavens. Oh,
when I
good.
open
I was a
it,
little worried.
I want to see the edges of my fabric lining up.
Okay, that's why we wanted to
That's
offset it
great
just a
news.
thread. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
just a thread. All right, so we are just going to give this a little iron.
Looking good.
It looks so good.
Okay.
Okay. And now I'm going to grab those scissors. And you can use your rotary cutter here if you want. So what I'm going to do to make sure I don't cut anything wrong is I'm going to put my piece over there and I'm going to come in and cut 1/4 of an inch roughly. Apparently I'm doing way more than that, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Away from my seam allowance.
Okay. So
Away from my seam. And then this is scraps.
Okay. And hang on to those because you never know when you need a little piece of something.
Yeah, I love hanging on to those. So I'll give it a little pressy press. All right.
Okay.
Now we will prepare our next one. So we're going to do the same. We're going to draw a nice line. And then when I place this, I'm going to put it like this. So my line is going from here to the corner.
Okay. And
Center
that
to
way
the
when you
corner.
bend it back, you'll see the flying geese, right?
Yeah.
Oh, she's so smart.
So then
Okay.
Sandy's going to stitch this, and I like to start from my flat edge again, but Sandy could start from whichever corner she likes.
Oh, I'm following you.
Okay.
You know what the business is. So
And I'll
let's
switch
do
us
that.
to that
So
close-up.
I'm actually going to sew over an edge of that other one, right?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and down it goes. Let's give it a little pedal. Pedal to the metal. And so, okay, we're underway now. This is an interesting machine. We're using the Brother XP3, the Luminaire 3, and it's so automatic with this pedal. It lifts the foot, it moves the things. It's like, oh wow! So it's quite exciting to do. All right,
quite
and
fun.
we're just going to trim off that. Lift my little.
Oh, I'm sorry.
borrow the
I
scissor
stole
for
the scissors.
No, we have to share because I didn't bring any.
Oh, I can get us some more, actually.
Oh, she's a
I
good-
see a pile of them.
Do you see a pile? Perfect. Okay, I'll give you back the really good ones. And I'll give you back our little thing that we just sewed.
Fantastic.
See, I sewed. Okay. All right, and then Chelsea's taking over. Oh, thank you.
All right, let's head
I'll just
over to
use
our
this
top
little
camera. All right, so Sandy sewed from here to here. And now I'm going to go in, set our seam. Oh, Sandy,
Did I
it's
do it again?
beautiful.
Oh, she is such a good lady. She just, I feel good when I sew with you. You're very encouraging.
We should just have more sew-a-thons.
I think so.
Look at how good that looks.
All right.
I
so-
would say that's a perfect flying geese.
All right. We love flying geese.
All right, so I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm just going to trim back my extra fabric.
So this is another way to make flying geese that I have not done yet, because I did the one using the wing clipper by Deb Tucker. We've made half square triangles and then into flying geese. So this is a new method for us. That's really cool.
Is this your first
This
time
is my
doing
first
flying
time
geese
doing
like
this way? Yes.
Oh, that's fabulous, Sandy.
yeah. So I learned something new.
All right.
Okay.
So, to make this project, you're going to need 4 large flying geese. They're just going to do that same process. And then you are going to make 4 small flying geese.
Okay.
So you'll take one of your smaller background rectangles and your smaller squares, and you'll make 4 of these.
All right.
I may have
perfect.
already pre-sewn them all.
Oh, she's such a good. Thank you. Thank you.
So we only had to make 1 flying geese live.
So that you could see how the method. And I'm glad you selected the large one. You can see exactly how we did it.
I thought it might be a little bit easier.
I think that's great.
Oh, that's a great idea. Nancy, she has a luminaire as well. She said you could use the protector to see where your line is.
Right.
Just a friendly
And then
FYI.
thanks. Yes, that's from a person who has a luminaire and probably knows a little more about its ins and outs. So thank you, Nancy.
All right. You ready for our next step, Sam?
Okay, we're ready for the next step.
So we are going to make a little 4 patch.
Perfect. Okay.
Easy peasy. We're just
Easy
going to
peasy,
grab
1/4
4
inch.
squares we like together,
Okay.
and we are going to sew them right sides together down the side.
Okay.
Doop.
All right.
So I will send these on over to Sandy.
Okay. And I will get them ready to roll for 1/4 inch seam. And I suppose we could project it too. I do have my little 1/4 inch foot on the machine. So I'm following the outside edge of my foot. That's your 1/4 inch. And away I go. A little wiggle to start. I will start wiggling. Okay, now we can do a bit of chain piecing here. Sorry, that might not be exactly even there, Chelsea, but we're getting close. Okay, so we're going to chain piece. So I've got the next 2 ready to go. We're just going to sew off the first one. And then sew to the next one and keep on sewing. And if you have lots to do, that you just keep putting your little your squares together, keep sewing. All right, and I'm just going to come off the end here, snip our babies apart. Okay, there they go. Look at that. We got 2 triangles. Okay, here we go, Chalice.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sandy.
2 squares into a rectangle, I should say.
So when I go to iron these, I like to press my seams opposite ways,
Okay.
but I can do that after I get them pressed open.
Okay.
So I just set their seams first. I do together because
Yeah, why not? You've got a big
Easier.
enough surface on your iron to do more than one at a time.
I'm going to come in and I kind of like to finger press a little bit
Okay.
and
yeah,
then iron
okay.
on
Just get
seams
it
that
so
aren't biased.
You don't get a wrinkle. Right?
Yep.
Perfect.
I find it just gets a little bit flatter. All right,
Okay, so
those
now
are nicely pressed.
this is where it gets tricky.
So I press those the same way with my seam going the same way. So to get them to go opposite,
We flip them.
just flip this one.
Okay, perfect.
And then
And
when
then
I'm
they
going,
should tuck right in, right?
yeah, they'll nest. So I'm going to flip this guy over that guy and I'll grab a little pin because I like to pin my,
I like pinning it
Join.
as well because then you know it's going to be right snug together and get a perfect little seam.
yeah. And when I pin, I like to pin on the seam allowance that's going to be facing towards the bed of my machine
Okay.
because then I know that seam allowance doesn't shift and
go
flip.
wiggly. Yep.
So I just have it
Okay.
pinned through my seam allowance over there. And then
Okay.
I just leave the other 2 ends not
Yeah,
pinned.
we'll just
'cause,
go.
you know.
Because that's the way it goes. And I will try and be very careful not to drive over the pin because that's a great way to break your needle.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that.
So I'm just going to slow my sew down just a little so that I want to keep that together as long as possible and then pull it out magically.
I like it, Sandy.
All right.
And now, for your pillow, you're going to need 5 of these 4 patches.
Sorry. I take my other little leader off there. Chelsea, you're having a piece of scrap.
Yeah, I'll leave
There
you with
go.
the leader there. All right, let's head on over. I'm going to press this, and then we'll open it. And this seam, I also just press to one side. I'm
Okay.
not going to worry about pressing my seams open on this pillow
Okay.
because a lot of them aren't really going to touch each other.
No. Okay.
I'm not too
Perfect.
worried. All right,
How did it turn out, Chelsea?
it's adorable. So we have a 4 patch, and you'll need 5 of those 4 patches.
Perfect. Okay. 5.
All right.
Okay, we're going.
So I think we're at the point where we can start assembling.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
So
all
I'll
right.
take our first flying geese, and I like because we're using scraps, I like to just start laying them out. So I have a flying geese here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So we're following the picture on the pattern.
Yep, we
Okay,
sure are.
perfect. Okay, so I got flying geese.
And you always want your points pointed out.
Outward. So the geese is flying toward the center.
Another flying geese here. I'll just scooch my
Perfect.
little contraption over there.
I'm liking it, Chelsea. Liking it.
Another flying geese here.
Mm-hmm.
And I already pieced this one together, but we'll have another flying geese there.
Okay.
And
Lovely.
I put my 2 4 patches on.
Okay, so we've got to do that with our top piece. Then.
Yes. So we'll
Okay.
have a 4 patch up here, a 4 patch over here, where
Okay.
my iron is.
Mhm.
And then we'll have a 4 patch in the middle.
Oh, okay.
And now we'll have to fill in this section.
Yeah, we've got a section we're going to fill in.
All right. So we'll put a flying geese here, and I like to lay it out so I can see where my fabrics are going. I'm just going to put this one here, so
Yeah,
it's not
just
touching that
The same
aqua.
color. Oh, okay, perfect.
And then we'll get this one.
Okay.
Maybe put it there.
Mm-hmm.
And this one here.
Okay.
Okay. And this one here.
So we know for sure we're going in the right direction because all of our flying geese are leading to the middle.
Yep,
Okay, perfect.
we sure do. And then I picked white on white. It's kind of hard to see. These two will go here. All right.
Oh my goodness, that looks absolutely beautiful.
It's going to be
All
so
right,
fun.
It's going to be fun.
So let's make our top unit
Okay.
just like this one down here.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is take these 2 4 patches and attach them onto here.
Okay.
So I will... Do you like pins for this part, Sandy?
Only if there's a seam that I'm meeting up with.
There is not.
Oh, okay, well then I'm good.
So I will just line up Sandy's first 4 patch,
Yep.
and I will send it on over.
Okay, and I will do my best to make that 4 patch beautiful here. Okay, so I'm just going to match up very closely along that line. Make sure we're even. Okay, don't want to stretch it because that would not be good. Okay, here we go. Pedal to the metal. Well, not really, but sometimes I sew like a turtle.
I sew like a turtle sometimes too.
Yeah,
That's okay.
and I've just got to make sure that that seam then is not going to buckle up and one's going to turn the wrong way. All right. Oh, this is so much fun, Chelsea. I like those days. I know we used to get together, Nancy, Betty and I, and we'd have a sew day at Nancy's house. There you go.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
fun.
They used to laugh at me because every once in a while they'd hear a little sewing language.
Oh, sewing
Yeah,
language.
sewing language. And they go, oh, what'd you do now?
So, Sandy,
Mhm.
we're going to press our seam allowance towards our 4 patch. on
Okay,
this
sounds
one.
good. So toward the 4 patch.
So I'm going to set my seam with my 4 patch facing up,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will move my iron out of the way.
Don't burn yourself, yeah.
And then I just open it gently,
Okay.
and I'll just
Finger
give it a little
press.
coercing,
Perfect.
and then I'll press it with my iron.
Good job. Looks good, Chels.
All right.
All right.
And now we'll attach our other 4 patch,
Okay, sounds good.
and Sandy's going to give that a sew for us.
Okay. I'm quite liking this machine. So you too can have an XP Brother Luminaire. They are available at my sewing room. And if you can't see yourself driving this machine, I have many brothers available. I have Berninas available. I even have some Gently Loved ones available. So if you need a sewing machine, I'm quite sure we can find one for you. This one's a doozy though.
It's a fun one.
So nice. Look at that. All right. Love it. It's looking good, Chelsea. Just going to snip my little seamies off, get rid of my ender and leader here, and pass it back to Chelsea. This
Thanks,
is like
Sandy.
hot potato, pass it back to boy.
All right.
All right.
So I'm just going to put that down where it lives, and we'll press our seam.
Beautiful. And we're pressing toward the 4 patch. All right.
And I like working with my pillow laid out because then generally I don't sew things backwards.
That's a brilliant idea, actually.
Generally,
Generally,
I
that
have
works
done it.
well. Okay.
I've definitely done that. But it just helps me stay a little organized.
Okay.
All right, so I have one beautiful unit up here and one beautiful unit down here. So we're going to have to work on this whole center part. And we're going to make a unit that matches this first.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
we'll take our two little background white squares and we're going to attach them onto our flying geese here.
And I know that we at the store have a little light that you can use to beam onto the whites to make sure that you're putting them the right sides together.
Yes, you're not straining your eyes.
Yeah, and I'm not
trying to
I'm
see
not
where they are.
going, oh my goodness, what did I just do? All right, and away I go. 1/4 inch seams all the time for our quilting. Oh, that was very smooth that time, Chelsea.
It looked great.
All right, and just trim off our enders and leaders and give it back to Chelsea. Hot potato.
Thank you, Sandy.
Yep, we're doing great.
All right. And, whoops, I almost put that down backwards.
That could happen.
Let's press our seam.
Good idea that we have it laid out.
Makes it harder to put it down upside down.
Mm.
Give it a little press, and then we'll press it with the iron.
Well, this is fun.
And now we'll attach
The last
this side.
Okay.
And over to
This
Sandy.
pillow is going to be beautiful. I'm looking
I'm
forward to
so
it.
excited.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got them all lined up. I got my little leader in place. Going to do the 1/4 inch. Hit the gas pedal. Here we go. Pressers down and away I roll. Look at how nice and smooth and how quiet that will be. All right, we're liking him. Trim our little leaders and enders. Pass it back.
All right. There we go. Press our seam.
I really like the use of the Lori Holt fabric because it's so bright and cheerful.
The Kimberbell fabric?
Kimberbell, I called it Lori Holt. Sorry, Kimberbell fabric. You could use Lori Holt if you'd like a more of a, I would think, country looking look.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So we have this beautiful unit. Perfect. We have this beautiful unit. So we'll need some nice units there. And then I'm going to take this flying geese and attach it to my little 4-patch.
Okay.
And it looks like we might have a bit of a seam to line up.
Okay. Here's your pin back, Chelsea.
Thank you, Sandy. Oh, we can just use the same pin. All right. And I'm just going to jab my pin into the little point of my flying geese
Okay.
to kind of keep it in position for Sandy. Okay. And we'll see how it goes.
All right.
I found this pillow, since there's not too many pieces,
Yeah.
it's easy to, fudge it when you have a little bit of an accident.
Okay, so we do have a little wiggly room.
We have some wiggle room, yeah.
All right, perfect. I like wiggle room because you know what? We don't always sew straight, and we can't even get it under the presser foot either. There we go.
Got it.
Got it. Okay, I'm going to go slow till I get up to that pin because that thing is poking out. There we go. I had to straighten that one. And down, and it's going to come close, and presto, it's gone. Okay, and I just want to make sure my ends are together. All right, Chelsea had a little lubble. Okay, it might be a little wiggly.
It's going to work out.
I think it'll be cut those leaders, enders off. Okay, and pass it back to Chelsea.
Thank you, Sandy.
Okay.
Okay. So now on this one, I'm going to press my seam towards my 4-patch.
Okay.
So to do that a little bit easier, I'll put my 4-patch up.
Set the seam and then toward the 4-patch. Gotcha.
And then I'll just give that a little finger press.
Yeah, because
just gently.
There's just a little bit of bulk right in that one spot where the flying geese came together with the seam in the center, and hopefully they matched.
They match perfectly.
Oh,
you did a great job.
Thanks. I think it's the pinning. I honestly think if you pin it well and then leave it right to that last second and then pull it out, it should work.
Now this one to here.
All right, perfect.
And I'll give us a little pin.
Okay. It's looking good, Chelsea.
I think that's all because of the wonderful sewer.
I think it's because of all the good preparation that she does when we do our Facebooks. It's great, Chelsea. All right, here we go.
We make a good team, Sandy.
It's working. It's a working, and we don't want to mess with it. All right, and under the little footy foot we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to cruise into this slowly so that, whoop, see, because there's that little guy just keeps wanting to bubble up a little. And then we just keep going and going, and then just before we hit that spot, pull the pin out.
I like the action effect noises. I like it. Sound effects.
Sound effects.
That's the words I'm looking for.
Because sometimes when you see us sewing, you're not quite sure what we're doing. So, get some sound. Okay. Ooh, this is looking good. Here you go, Chalice.
Thank you, Sandy. All right. So we are going to press the seam towards the 4 patch again. So I will put my 4 patch up. Set my seam.
Look at that go.
We're almost done, actually.
Yep.
I found this a very quick pillow to make. I made one at home.
Yes. She will reveal her pillow
Next week, hopefully.
next week. There will be a reveal.
Yeah, if I finish quilting my pillow.
That's okay. We've got 2 more weeks, so she can.
Fantastic.
Chelsea, you can not bring it to next week. You can bring it maybe the last week or something.
Ooh.
All right. What's next?
We are going to sew this piece to this piece.
Okay.
So we'll do that first. And since we pressed this seam towards our 4 patch and this seam towards our little square, they're going to match.
It's going to be great.
So we will add 2 pins.
I love it. Okay.
That one's not as good of a pin. 1 pin there. And 1 pin here. And then to sew this one, because we have 2 chunks coming together, I just take a peek through the top. If I notice one of them is going to bag out quite a bit, I need to ease it, then I will go in and I might add an extra pin or also with that side down.
Okay.
In this case, I'm just going to toss in a little extra pin because I want to match that flying geese up with that intersection underneath it. So let's add in a pin. We'll see what happens.
All right. Well, I'll do my best to make them end up where they're supposed to
Over
be.
to Miss Sandy.
All right. Thank you, Chelsea. Got my big petal here ready to go. There it is on the 1/4 inch. And off we roll. Okay, and I got several pins this time, so I'm just going to take it easy till I get to the pin. And then pull so I don't run over it.
Carol loves the colors.
Oh, thanks, Carol.
This is actually a great project to do with your scraps.
Yep, I think so. Okay, we're doing great, Chelsea. You only got 1 more pin area to go.
Nice.
It's looking okay, I think. Okay, slow down. Here comes the pin. Chink. Out it goes. All right, right off the end onto the little ender that becomes a leader. Leaders and enders. Okay, and back to Chelsea we go.
All right.
Okay.
So on this
how well
one,
it went.
we are going to press our seam towards the bottom here, towards the center unit.
Okay.
So what we're going to do for now, I'll just do that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll set our seam.
But now I'm excited. How close did we get to lining it up, Chelsea?
It looks pretty good.
Okay. She wouldn't tell me if I did it wrong anyways.
They probably wouldn't.
No.
And, you know, feeling the bulk here, I may press the seam open.
Oh, okay. Because it's quite thick when we have all of those pieces meeting, right?
Yeah. So we'll first press it nice and flat. Oh, it's looking cute.
Is it looking cute?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm going to flip it upside down.
And just do a little open.
I'm just going to press these open.
Okay, so There isn't really a hard and fast rule for pressing. I know when we did our quilting first class, we always pressed to the dark side.
Sounds like an episode of Star Wars.
It does, doesn't it? And for the most part, for the Irish chain, it worked out very well. That they notched and nested nicely. I know when we did other things, we would sew them and press them one way, and then the next one we'd sew and press, and we'd press it the opposite way, so that when the long pieces came together, they were nesting. So it just, you have to play it by ear. Looking good.
Look at those seams, Dandy.
Did we do well?
They're fantastic.
Fabulous. Ooh,
right.
I love that. I can see this from the overhead, and that literally looks like a beautiful star.
It does, doesn't it?
It's looking fabulous.
So now we're just going to stitch this piece onto here.
Yeah.
Boop. And I'm going to flip it around so it's a bit easier for me to pin.
I like the hint about pinning not only the two, but looking to see if there's anything that we need to ease and make sure that it all works in. I do find that because we're using a 1/4 inch piecing foot and the walking feet are on the bottom tends to eat up faster than the top. So you guys just have to see how things are lining up.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And it looks like this one is going to need some easing. So let's go in and we will pin that center down.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to do my best to get it nicely lined up.
Okay.
And if you're having troubles lining up, you could actually poke through your little point here.
Yeah, and go pointy to
and then you can lift it up. And then jam your needle right through where you actually need to land.
Perfect.
And it lines up.
We are good, and I keep stealing all your pins.
Look at that. So now we will sew with this side to the bottom because it's a little bit baggier. You can see right there.
It will suck up as I sew.
Yeah, it'll ease itself in.
Ease on down the road. Okay, there we go. Chelsea, I was so used to doing Wacky Wednesday that even on Tuesday I get kind of silly.
I like it.
Okay.
I like Silly Sandy. Makes it so much more fun.
It's fun to sew.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's like a party.
And I just really like, because everybody has a good little tidbit and a good little piece of advice for sewing, that it's nice to sew with someone else now and then, because we do get kind of stuck in the way we do things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always nice to learn something new.
It totally is.
Okay, we're almost there, Chelsea. Almost there. Boy, this is going to be the sweetest Sweet Jane's pillow.
Dawn was looking at it and she thought it looks a lot like candy.
It does, doesn't it? Oh, I think she's right. Okay, here we go back again. Hopefully we eased enough and it'll be lined up.
All right, so let's set our seam.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll press this one open as well.
Okay, I like that idea. Okay. So you could actually get this top part done in a day is what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah, I think when I sewed it at home, because I wasn't trying to teach anyone, I think it took me about 30 minutes.
Okay,
to sew the entire top.
Okay, and so you might want to have a day to just do the cutting.
Yeah,
and
cutting
then a
took
day
me
to
a bit.
sew. Yeah.
But
okay.
Just the sewing and ironing took me about 30 minutes.
That's not bad. That's very serious business.
And I actually made 2 of the tops.
She is just amazing.
I chain pieced though.
Okay, good. And we did a little bit of that.
That definitely helped.
And that helps a lot.
Yeah, and now I'm just going to get our iron in here between the seam. Mm-hmm. If you have a clapper as well, we have one. Mm-hmm. The little wooden clappers. They help keep your seams really fat after you iron them.
Okay, that's a good tip.
I'm not going to do that today.
Yeah, because we're on camera and we're going fast. We're already going a lot here. What are we at? 35. Okay, so we're doing all right, Chelsea.
Might turn up my heat a little bit, though.
We could always press this well after we're done. We can always use flatter or Mary Ellen's Best Press to get that nice crisp sewing.
Yep, most definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, looking good, Chelsea.
That looks fabulous.
Okay.
Now we have to finish off this row.
Okay.
So we are going to take this guy and flip him on over
And stitch them together.
and stitch him together.
Okay.
Looks like he's a little bit smaller than our piece. So I'm going to
Okay.
give Sandy a few pins.
Okay. Thank you.
And to do that, I'm going to mark the center of here.
Okay.
So-
we know where to kind of ease into.
Yeah. Just give it a little finger press. Yep, and it goes this way. And I'll line up the center of my flying geese with that little finger press I made.
Okay. So never fear, pieces don't always come out exactly. So don't panic, right? We
Yeah.
can ease things, we can adjust things a little bit. Remember what your sewing machine does on the bottom with its feed dogs, it gathers a little bit faster than the top. Ouch. That hurt. Poor Chelsea. Oh my gosh, she's gonna have scars. Battle wounds here. Okay.
All right, let's check this out.
Okay.
So we'll hold that up. It looks like we need to sew with our many pieces of patchwork on the bottom.
Okay.
That's okay.
All right. And
We can make this work.
I will try and make sure we get them to lay flat and open. Okay. All right, here we are. Back to the machine. 1/4 inch. Here we go. Line that guy up on that side.
I don't know about you, Sandy, but it's not quilting if I haven't gotten myself poked by at least 6 pins.
Well, yes. And you got to always have like a Kleenex or a piece of paper towel and a Band-Aid handy, just in case.
Definitely a Band-Aid. Would recommend.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't like cleaning off little red spots from my project.
It's, whoops, went a little faster. Yes, it kind of gets to be, oh, come on.
I suppose you could say it's made with love for sure.
Yeah, blood, sweat, and tears
Blood, sweat, and
is
tears.
probably more. Yeah. All right, so we do need to do a little bit of, just had to flatten out that seam because he wants to bag around. Okay, so
Yeah, a little
Chelsea,
fiddling
I'm not
is always
sure.
good.
We're doing a little fiddling. And I'm going to hang on for dear life and hope it stays flat. I hope it's not too bowed. Baby.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
You've got to match up a little bit, or Chelsea will be disappointed in me.
I think I'm going to be pleased.
All right, well, I think we're off the mark by a snicker, but we shall see.
A Snicker.
A snicker.
Like the candy bar
Like a
Snickers?
Snickers. Yeah. That's what happens when you have a problem sewing, you go get a Snickers.
All right.
All right, there we go.
So now, let me check how we press these seams. So we press towards our 4 patch on this one. So this time we're going to press our seam towards our little piece unit.
Okay, sounds
So
good
then-
to me.
These
Then
seams
we'll
will
nest.
nest when we're done.
Oh, she's so good thinking ahead. I think it's all because it's laid out.
The pattern
and,
said
yeah.
it.
Oh, the pattern said. Okay, Chelsea, you could just have said thank you.
Thank
That's
you, Sandy.
So brilliant.
But I can't take all the credit.
So Sweet Jane does put in a few hints for you as you're doing it.
Most
so that-
definitely.
Okay, good. So
Oh,
and the
these look
pattern,
good.
was it easy to follow, Chelsea?
Yes.
Okay.
I've only made it once, and I'm not reading the pattern right now.
And you're just doing it. It's amazing. Okay.
So I would say it's pretty good.
Gets a little bulky right in that area, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does. So I'm just coming in and
Finger.
coercing,
Yep.
and I'm going to press this seam in stages just so I can get it flat.
Good idea. Good idea.
So we'll press that one. And then
Because
this
it has a
one's nice and
tendency, it
flat.
might be a little bowy.
That's okay. We can make it work.
Okay.
I have not seen a quote yet I haven't been able to iron into submission.
Good. Good. Yeah, it's always, always a good thing.
When in doubt, get the iron out.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that is lovely.
It's looking really cute.
Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, one more to go.
One
oh my
more.
gosh, I just love that overhead view of it. It's just so pretty.
It is pretty. Now I'm just going to check how... Yeah, it looks like our little piece unit's a little wider again, so
Okay.
I'm just going to go in and
Find our
mark my center.
Okay. I think it's because we had a little bit of bias, right? Like when we're doing our sewing.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep. Could have been also because everyone's scant quarter inch could be a little bit different.
Different, yeah.
And I sewed some of these pieces and Sandy sewed some of these
Well,
pieces.
and I'm
so
thinking-
that could be it too.
And I sew on a Bernina usually, so I'm sewing on a Brother, so I'm relying on that quarter inch to be where it is. And so we're just doing our best.
It's looking fabulous. All right.
All right.
We'll sew with that pieced unit down again, it looks like.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Chelsea. Okay, and we're just going to make sure that seam laying flat before I get started with my finger there.
We only have 2 seams to go after this, Sandy.
Oh boy, you guys are going to be so excited. We'll have a pillow top done here in no time. All right, easing that guy in there with my pin. Good, and just hold tight to that seam so it doesn't buckle. All right, keeping going. Right, getting close to my pin. Oop. This one thing about this thing, it lifts its foot every time you stop.
It does.
So
It
I
has
don't
a
have
hover
to-
feature.
I don't have to lift my presser foot to get that little arm to go back down. 'Cause
That's quite lovely.
that is very nice. Okay, and I just want to see where that seam is. Make sure it's open as I press. Okay, very good. Yeah, you beautiful little thing. All right, here we go. And away we roll. And I like that we set it so that our needle is down. So every time I stop, the needle holds the position of the fabric and the presser foot lifts up so I can get that little edges, the little seams going the right way. Perfect. All right. Okay, let's trim off that little guy. These are really cute scissors. These are OESD applique scissors. It's got a bit of a curve to them. So I'm not worried about cutting into our fabric when I trim off those edges. So those are lovely things too if you don't have a pair of applique scissors.
Thank you, Sandy.
You're very welcome.
We're just going to press it.
Oh, we're getting so excited now.
Right.
And again, we're pressing that one toward the center, right?
Yepers.
How are we doing, Chelsea? Did it work okay?
It looks pretty good.
All right.
Just going to play with my seam a little bit.
Mhm.
Get it nice and flat. We'll get our iron in there. Were you scared I was going to poke myself again?
Yes, well, either that or, when you go to move it, burn yourself. And
I think I've only poked myself 3 times today.
Oh, see, that's pretty good. That's
That's
pretty good. I like it. Okay.
Traditionally, I have pins everywhere, and it's
Oh my, does that ever
poking
look
us.
pretty?
Oh, gosh, okay.
Oh.
So, we are ready for our last 2 seams. We're
Okay.
going to flip this one down to here.
Oh.
And because we took care in which way we were pressing,
We should be able to
we
nest
should
them.
line up.
Okay. That is really cool. Okay. Do we need a point one?
Yeah, I think we'll put a little one in the center here.
Just to hold our mark. Okay. All
And-
right.
Maybe I'll give Sandy one at the ends too.
Okay.
Just because we're going to have those flying geese seam allowances hanging out.
Okay.
That pin is not very sharp.
Mm.
Have you ever had that where you find a pin not very sharp and then you don't use it, so you just put it right back in your pin dish
Yeah,
so you can find it later?
Instead of getting rid of it. Yeah. That's right. I have a really nice pin keeper that Anne made, and it's full of walnut shells.
Oh.
So my pins are always really sharp. I can tell you they're very sharp.
Sandy has evidence.
Yeah, I have evidence, blood evidence that they are very sharp. You could do DNA on it.
It's not sewing if you don't get pin pricks.
That's right. Here we go. It's looking good, Chelsea. I'm impressed.
I cannot wait for this pillow top.
Yeah, okay. coming up on that pan. Look how
And
fast
next
that
week,
was.
we're going to quilt it, Sandy.
Oh, I think that's going to be so much fun. So, ooh, that got
That
really
was
excited.
That was very speedy.
Yes, you got very excited all of a sudden. Oh, look, we're going to quilt
Woo!
it. So that seam might be off just a tad. It's a good thing Chelsea's got a very hot iron. So
Perfect.
quilting it next week. I think too we're doing something called Frankenbatting.
Yes.
All right, I'm
Dawn
curious.
suggested we talk about Frankenbatting.
Okay, so we're going to leave you with that term, and you guys will just have to wait till next week to figure out what we mean by that.
If you do know what we mean, put it in
Yep.
the comments.
Yeah, please do.
For our friends.
Yeah.
And we will discuss Frankenbatting and quilting with clear blue tiles, I think, Sandy.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what we were
From
going to
Kimber
try
Bell.
next. Okay, next, I should say. There you go. I hope that's okay, Chelsea.
So now, this seam, I am just going to press it up towards my top row. Oops, and I'm not on the right camera. I'll press my seam up
Oh,
that
so
way.
does everybody get a picture of my head there?
I think I changed it
Just as I was
before you
leaning
leaned
over.
over.
Okay, good. I was just picking up the pins I dropped, which is always something you need to do, especially if you have pets.
We're just going to gently get in there and coerce our seam to all lay the right way.
because that one might be a little iffy.
So for this one, I have this part of my seam lying flat. So I'm going to iron the first half and then I'll coerce the last half.
Okay, sounds marvelous. I love the iron part. It works. Okay.
Oh, this looks cute.
It does look cute. We are, oh my goodness, doesn't that look sweet? I get that overhead picture every once in a while and it's just so adorable.
I love it.
It makes flying geese into stars. Isn't that lovely?
All right, last
Oh
piece.
my.
We're
Okay.
going to flip it up. Boop.
Okay.
And I'm going to rotate this so it's easier to pin.
Okay.
And we're going to just re-nest our seams again. And we'll pin that last part. Come over here. Nest our seam.
I think what they like about this is even if it isn't quite true, straight, we're going to be stuffing it. So it's going to have a little curve to it. So it's not going to lay completely flat anyways with a pillow inside.
Looks perfect.
It looks good. All right, looks
We
perfect.
eased that guy together.
Eased
It
on
worked
down
great.
the road, eh? Okay. You just got to make sure that that corner is popped up.
Oh, Sandy!
Yes, dear.
My sister joined. She
Oh,
said
did
was
she?
scrolling and thought I recognized those hands.
Okay.
Hi, Alyssa.
Hi. Hi, sister. Oh, that is so sweet.
Adorable.
Yep. Did your mom come on today?
I didn't see her yet,
No.
but I did see we had Sandy A join us.
Great.
We
Hi,
had
Sandy.
Nancy C,
Hi, Nance.
Sandy W.
Hi, Sandy
Lots
W.
of Sandys.
Oh,
It's
the
a
Sandy
party
party today. Yeah.
We have Lana T,
Hi, Lana.
Carol B,
Hi, Carol B.
and over on YouTube we have Karina B.
Hi, Karina B. All right. I'm hoping everybody is enjoying our little pillow talk.
Oh, I
I'm
was
sorry.
hoping
I
you'd say
saw-
that.
That was a wacky Wednesday. Sorry. Little pillow talks today. All right. It's looking good, girl. Looking good. Okay, we're into the home stretch. Last seam. You guys are so patient.
We're almost done.
Last seam, here it comes. Took that pin out and let's just finish that off. Perfect. Okay. Chelsea.
Sandy, that was the last
That's the
thing.
last seam. Here you go,
I'm
girl.
so excited.
I am
Okay.
too. That was really fun. I might have to make some of those.
All right, so we're going to come in, set our last seam. Do, 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 do. You always need the sound effects, right?
Yeah,
Sandy?
we do.
And then we're just going to come
And then we
in
have the
and
grand
flip it up.
unveiling. Okay, I'm coming back to visit you now. That's one thing about the studio down up here is that there's a lot of space between us. We have lots
yeah,
of elbow room.
you definitely need the roller chairs up here.
Yeah. Just don't slide off them. Oh, that is so cool.
Ah, Sandy turned out great.
It is fabulous. Look
I
at
love it.
that. Oh, that is beautiful.
Sweet as candy.
I love it.
And nothing's upside down.
Isn't that marvelous?
I was really worried about that today.
I think you did a marvelous job keeping us lined up. It's
So-
beautiful.
Our pillow turns out about 16 and a half by 16 and a half.
Okay, so that's good to know.
And next week we're going to quilt it because who doesn't want a quilted pillow top?
So we're quilting the pillow top. All right.
I'm
and
excited.
Talk about Franken batting and blue tile rulers, right?
Clear blue tiles.
Clear blue tiles. Perfect. All right. Well, that was wonderful. Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank
That
you,
was a
Sandy.
lot of fun.
I had a great time.
Thank you for joining us. And next week, another Sweet Jane's pillow update. Woohoo!
We'll have more pillow talk.
I love it.
All right.